actually, I would enjoy having some Kentucky bourbon with Mitch McConnell. I don't know what his preferred drink is, but my interactions with Mitch McConnell, he has always been very straightforward with me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I'm sure he would just look so forward to sitting down and having a drink with Mitch McConnell. Julian E. Zelizer, professor of history and public affairs at Princeton University and author of a real great book, The Fierce Urgency of Now, Lyndon Johnson, Congress, and the Battle for the Great Society, rejoins us. Good to see you again, Julian.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So what you just heard there, anytime I hear about that, I think of Lyndon Johnson because, and I think of your book, and you talk so much about his relationships with the Congress. We hear about Bill Clinton and Reagan and all, but, we know that Lyndon Johnson had a unique way with Congress. But, an aide to Mitch McConnell said that in his 6 years as minority leader of the Senate, he has met with Barack Obama one-on-one once in 6 years.
Yeah, I think the relationship between the two branches are terrible. I don't think having some Kentucky bourbon is really going to help at this point. Some of this has to do with their feelings about each other. Some of it just has to do with the electorate and the way the parties have moved farther apart. But it's hard to imagine right now they're going to be able to fix this over drinks. I think the problems are much more deeply rooted, and President Obama has been criticized for his relationships on the Hill.
Right, and yesterday, and you wrote a great piece at CNN.com, who got a boost, who got a 2016 boost from the midterms. And I want to ask you about what you think. We just had a panel debate earlier about how this affected Hillary. But when the president yesterday stands out there and says, "I'm going to sign that executive order," even before he said that, even the liberal media, the likes of Candy Crowley and the likes of Chuck Todd, were saying it would be, she said it would be like throwing a hand grenade on the floor of the Senate. It would be terrible. But he's going to do it. I mean, has he learned nothing?
Well, my guess is he will use executive power. He's talked about that, and he signaled that on issues like immigration and climate change, if the legislative branch is not an option, he will do that. And I think he will, and I think he is aware, and many Democrats, as you said, are fearful of the political costs of doing that, meaning you move forward with executive power to deal with immigration, but you create a worse situation in Congress where the issue itself becomes even more poisonous. So there would be high cost to him using that authority.
All right, so who did get a boost in 2016. The two that come to mind immediately, as far as if you want to focus on individual prospective candidates, Hillary and Rand Paul. Rand Paul immediately said Hillary was a big loser, and there are two schools of thought on Hillary who campaigned for lots and lots of losers leading up to Tuesday. So what's your take?
I think that was certainly damaging. She would have liked to campaign with winners, but I think she comes out okay. There are many Democrats who are now desperate for a winner in 2016, and that naturally leads people to someone with experience, to someone who knows how to campaign, and someone who could be pretty tough. And my guess is that will help her, as will having a Republican Congress, which she will use as a foil in her campaign. And Rand Paul is one of the many Republicans who comes out pretty strong, I think, both from his endorsements, but also the feeling he's one of the few coalition builders within the GOP that many Republicans, frankly, are quite excited about, not just attracting the base of the party, but new or younger voters. So both of them come out, I think, in strong position.
And very quickly, is Christie another one because he supported so many winning governors, or not so much?
He's still damaged. The polls show him doing poorly in places like Iowa, but he comes out much stronger. Yes, we're talking less about Bridgegate and more about him as a candidate.
All right, Julian Zelizer, always great to talk to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, my pleasure. All right, folks, up next, you know what, you love it, you got to have it. It's Gimme 5, only on the Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax Television.